Hello and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Friday, January 16th edition of our video devotionals. We appreciate you being with us today, and I hope your Friday's going well. It is the end of the work week, end of the school week, and of course, I count the weekend as Friday and Saturday, and Sunday being the first day of the week. So we say it that way because in the Bible it speaks like that. So we hope you have a great weekend and a great Sunday, and what a great way to begin a week as God's people being in the house of God. So hopefully that can happen for you. And otherwise, hopefully your Friday is going to be a great Friday. All right, we're going to be in Genesis chapter 39. We're going to look at verse 23, just the one verse, be there momentarily. Otherwise, we want to say thank you for watching the videos. We appreciate you. And of course, anytime you acknowledge you watch it or make any comment, we appreciate you, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right into it then. All right, so we're already into the story of Joseph. And Joseph at this point has been sold to the Ishmaelites by his brothers. He goes down into Egypt. He gets a job with a very rich man here, Potiphar. He's an officer of Pharaoh. And while he's working there, this man's wife tries to seduce him. And Joseph says no, and he refuses. And one day she really tries to ensnare him. And he takes off, but he leaves this garment with her. Because he just takes off running, and she uses that against him, and he ends up in prison. Because the man's wife Potiphar thinks that hey, you don't come to my house and do this, and so you go to prison. Here he is, he's in prison. Amazing. You know, the sad thing how his brothers treat him. Then he's doing the right thing where he's at, and actually the Bible says that the man is prospering because the Lord is with Joseph, and so. Here we are, now he's in prison. So I want you to notice verse 23. So as he's in prison, guess who kind of takes him under his wing? Verse 23. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him. That's Joseph. And that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper. So, really the simple thought here is today, even in adversity, even in suffering, you know what? The Lord can make you prosper and the people around you prosper because the Lord's with you. Anywhere where the Lord is at, there's life and there's blessing. And even in a situation like this, we would think, well, why didn't God spare Joseph from being sold in Egypt? Why didn't God just intervene then? Well, he didn't, did he? And why didn't God certainly keep Joseph from having to go into prison? Well, he didn't. And we know the rest of the story that from that position, there's going to be a great leap from the prison all the way to really kind of what we would call the palace as far as being that great leap of authority he'll have in the land. But the point is we need to be very careful when we're in adversity and when things happen because you are a Christian. Sometimes things happen not because you're simply a human being, because things happen to all of us as human beings. I get that. But there's some things that will specifically come your way because you are a child of God. And let me just say this a little bit further. Not just a child of God, but a child of God who's living for the Lord, attempting and sincerely trying to do and doing the will of God. When you do that, then of course you can expect the godly are going to suffer persecution. Things are going to happen. But the point is, it doesn't mean that in this case where Joseph is in prison, that somehow the Lord can't bless him even in that situation. Well, that's what he did. And it was noticeable. The keeper of the prison says, you know what, I'm gonna let you be in charge down here of some things because, the keeper of the prison may have not known the Lord, but he certainly saw the effects of the Lord's blessing upon Joseph. And he says, I like that. So what I'm saying is you can expect God to bless you even in your adversity, even in your suffering. So look for that. Ask God to help you in that, and he will. And because, we all want to have life with no problems, but you know what? There's things that are going to happen, and God uses those things. So just what you think is one of the greatest negatives that can happen, God may make a great leap from that position in your life all the way to something that God says, this is the steps that we needed to take in order to get you to where you're at and your usefulness. So we're going to stop right there. Hope you have a great day, safe day, healthy day, great weekend, great Sunday. Lord willing, we'll be back on Monday, and we'll continue our trek through the Bible as we're reading. And thank you for watching.